Hi, hello, good evening. I hope you can hear me. Hello. So, you're welcome to the inaugural, how will I call it now, webinar on real estate investment in Nigeria. Pardon my voice. I just had a very bad cold this morning and I've done everything possible to fix the voice, but I don't know why this is happening. So, if you are hearing this voice, this is not my real voice. I'll get that sorted maybe tomorrow, but the show must go on. We must learn. And thankfully, you are not going to be hearing my voice most of today. You are going to be hearing more from Yemi Olodun, that is CEO of Hybrid Land Tech. And I think Yemi is here already. So I'm going to bring him on right away so that we can have the conversation. Going to be like investments in aspects, the risk involved. We're also talking about some trending issues in Nigeria, especially in Lagos State, right now. So let me welcome my guest. He's the CEO of Hybrid Land Tech. Can barely hear I hope you can hear me. Please bear with me today.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
My voice kept going worse since morning. Can you hear me at all?
Wow. Yes,
It's
yes.
very
Am I
funny.
audible also?
No, very audible, very audible. So, like I
All right.
said,
Good. Good.
thankfully, excuse me,
Good.
thankfully, we are going to be hearing more from you today. So, I mean, my own voice will not come in the way so much. Um, thank you again for agreeing to do this, for coming in. I understand you usually have a very busy schedule, going for site inspections, handling clients, and all that. So I do not take this for granted. Thank you so much for coming around and right on time and right on time as well. So it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you. Um,
Yeah. Is our
so
work.
just so just go straight to the conversation. And first of all, let me just ask, how was your day? How was your day? How was Lagos State today?
Because it's fine. Actually,
So
within
how was
our axis,
today?
the grid lock or the traffic is better now.
Okay, amazing. Amazing. All right. I'm trying to check viewers to let them know that we are live. So right now
Oh,
we
okay.
are live
I'm
on
very
YouTube right now and on my Facebook page. So we're live on
okay.
those two platforms. I want to get some people to remind some people that hey, we are here already. Can you hear me at all? I can barely
All
hear
right.
myself.
I can hear you, but am I very audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are.
Okay.
You
Okay.
are audible.
Okay.
Yeah, good. All right, let's start right away. So the first thing I want to ask is let's get to meet you. No, I know you're I just want my audience to get to meet you, to get to know you. So please just in few words, just tell us about you.
Um. Okay. Once again, it's good to be here. and I appreciate you, Ayode Jason, for bringing this up. It's a very good initiative. People need to understand a lot of things, and it is the understanding they need that would impact to their decision making in their investment journey. So once again, I am Olodun Oyemi Julius. Some say I should be adding doctor to you, but I don't. I just want to just let's leave it this way. So I'm Olodun Oyemi Julius,
God,
a graduate of
engineer.
Federal University of Technology, Akure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so graduated as a mechanical engineering, but as God will have His way, I know during the course of the discussion, I'll still be able to go deep into what transpired from mechanical engineering to a real estate developer. Like I said, as God
Yeah.
will have His way, we need to diversify into what you have the passion for. So the passion I had for um, construction, development, housing,
Okay.
brought me into this phase of life where I am a proper real estate developer.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. So I think we just kickstart the conversation from from where you mentioned that you transitioned from a mechanical engineer to real estate. Was it accidental? Was it intentional? Was it intentional? Was it accidental? How did you come about real estate?
Okay. Will I say it's accidental or intentional? I'll look for the right English as we discuss, as we continue talking. I'll look for the right English. So I'll just quickly talk about my background. From there, people would judge if it was accidental, it was intentional, or if it was divine. So what happened? Growing up, I uh, I I got myself into the family of a family of four, three boys, one girl. My dad was a former senior staff association of Nigerian textile. And if you know what textile is then and now, you know that textile is gone. So back then, and my mom was a tailor. So my dad was a textile person, wanted probably some of us to travel, leave the country. So, but at one point, he changed his mind into okay, maybe going into industrialization. So, after leaving primary school, then university came. Then, sorry, secondary school, then university. That was when a lot of things changed. Dad lost his job. Textile crumbled. We all know what textile is some 20 years ago. Textile crumbled. And my dad, being a very, very family person, take care of a lot of people, he didn't really plan for us as a person. So the little he had on getting that money out, it was scammed. He lost all his hard earned money. To now make everything worse, the company he was working for, which was textile, Texlon got burnt down. So it was just so I don't know. I don't want to say it was so it was I don't know. I don't want to say my dad lost everything. So then I was about going to I jammed me a lot of times. So yeah, this is where the story started. When during the after I left secondary school, doing the jam issues, and I did jam like 3 times. It was not working out. Even my secondary school results, I didn't get English in time, so I had to write WAEC twice until I so during that period, the waiting period of that 3 years, that is where a lot of things struck into my mind. I'm not a lazy person from birth, so I've been a hard worker. So then my dad couldn't even afford to pay for rent again. Well, then we're Mapulu Oshodi. So he had just luckily he had a property in Ota where he built a 3 bedroom flat. It was at roofing stage then. So the
Okay.
little money he could gather then, we roofed the house. We did the asbestos ceiling just to cover the window with nylon. And before you know it, we had to move. So we moved down. That is where,
Wow.
yes, we have to move down. We only had two doors, one door at the main entrance. I think I've not said this to even my wife. I've not had this story before. Yes. So we had to move down. It was a very, 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 very scenario
It's
back then.
explosive.
So we had to move down. Please, am I very audible? So I had to move down. Oh, sorry, we had to move down to water. Hello.
Yeah, you're on. You're on. You're still on.
Okay, good. I just want to know if I'm
Your
still
network
I'm
is
still audible. So we have to move down to Ota. Yes, Ota. They call that place Odoba Sonjo. We have to move down there. We started our new life there. So me and my brothers were, I think then I just left secondary school, so I was still agile. Before you know it, we started doing a lot of dirty jobs there. I started collecting manual labor jobs, during clearing for people. I entered into mason. I became a bricklayer. No, I became a labor first. So being a labor, mixing mortar, carrying blocks, moving blocks with wheelbarrow, taking clearing jobs with cutlasses, and before you know it, luckily I met a man who was a foreman because I could speak English. He wanted me to be working with him, so I can be helping him write his quotations and a lot of things. So I took the job. I was working hand in hand with him. I was his labor was a bricklayer, so I helped him write all his quotations. So that's why I started understanding size of block, measurement of door, measurement of land, lintel level, roofing level.
Oh, the network again. Okay, there's a little glitch on Yemi's network, but from what is far, so let's hold on as we try to get Yemi back on the live.
Then my dad got a contract with Kogi State. That time he also had another accident, so that was another setback for the family again. So at that point, I was working with my siblings, with my other one. So it was a phase of where the love, the passion for construction came into my life. The love for real estate came into my life because I was seeing how Omonile were treating us back then on site. I know once we get to site, we have to first, before we do anything, we first go to the ballet, pay for money for foundation, make sure we have paid our dues, pay for foundation, pay for bricklayer. There's okay, so let me not a little of Yoruba, or bricklayer, or iron bender, or welder. So I learned all those things. I learned those terminologies with the locals, with the road title owners. So a lot of things transpired within that stage of my life. So when I got that, so a lot of things. So even till now, one of my friends that stays here in Shango, in Lekki, used to say, the day he came to my house, he saw me handling doing a bricklaying job. I was handling this forgotten this I'll remember the name of the instrument, and I was doing it. He was surprised, and I was saying he did civil engineering. He couldn't do what I was doing, but no, he understand it, all the terminologies, all the dimensioning. He was asking me, okay, what's the mixed ratio? What's this? So I was giving him the practical experience of what he didn't know. So before you know it, and then when I now got into school, because we got into school through diploma together. Me and that my friend were at Alagbado together. So when we got there, okay, my dad wanted me to be a mechanical engineer. I had experience for building. So on getting to diploma, mechanical from there, um, 200 level two. So then my best friends, even till date, were civil engineers. I was close to them because of that. My friend, who happened to be my roommate all through, that we stayed in Alagbado together. I did civil, so I was close to his friend because that was where my passion, my drive was. So A lot of times I read their books, strength of material, doing looking at their calculation sheets, beam, props, this, that. So
Yeah.
slab calculation. I was able to learn a lot of things during that phase. So when
So
um leaving the tertiary
Yemi, if it's not
institution, you said,
yeah, like I was saying, if anything at all, you you didn't just get into real estate from the top level. You started from the basic level. That's the lowest level of real estate, being a laborer.
hmm,
So I think, uh, how was that experience? How was that? I'm trying to get my voice. How has that experience?
yeah, I understand.
How has that experience helped you being from being a realtor to a developer? Your experience as a laborer, as a builder, how has it helped you as a realtor first and as a developer?
Okay. Oh, so okay. So it's still it's almost the same line of the story I was trying to tell. But how has it helped me from being a realtor to a developer? Because the realtors are the sales machine of every real estate business. You need a realtor to make sales. You need a
Yeah,
realtor to for cash flow. Because if there's no cash flow in the business, then sorry, if there's no cash flow in the business, then sustainability business will not be dynamic. Being a realtor came from after leaving school. I got the job in a mechanical in a gen set company. After 1 year, my uncle that knew what I've done then carried pong pong, carried trowel, did this. He just called me, Victory, just called me. That was 2017. Yemi, where are you? I said I'm with a gen set company. He said no 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 no, you can't be there. I've seen you do this. I know you all you need is technical experience for 1 year, then you can do it. So I joined Pertinence Limited in 2017. So, and then what I like that company for is they train you on entrepreneurship. They don't want you to depend on just your basic salary because then I think we started there with 15 or 25,000 naira. But they trained us to be a sales machine. So pertinence helped me to be a sales machine. Like one thing they will keep telling us is you cannot be a sales machine and be broke. You cannot be a realtor and be broke. And if you want to be a realtor, you cannot be shy. So that boldness must be in you. All you need to know is have the understanding and the information of the product you want to know you want to sell. Once you get that information, work on that information, gather more information to build on some facts. You need to be able to solve a problem for some people to transit, to move on. So the solution we're trying to solve is giving them a good investment opportunity. I have X. I want this X to turn to triple X, but I don't want a volatile business. That is where real estate comes in. So there, pertinence was the channel for being a realtor. So after I worked with them for 5 years. My first 6 months with them, I started from Ogun State, Itori to be precise. From there, Itori, Akon, Limomu, Shojuolu. So from there, I was transferred to Ibejuleki. So my Ibejuleki story started same 2017. I was still single, so I mean, I like to explore. When they asked me, I just accepted. So I went straight to the field of Ibejuleki in 2017. So 2017, I was connecting as a building. So I've learned the terminologies then from pertinence. So I just translated straight to Bejuleki. So I was in Bejuleki as a site manager for up to I started from one location to almost 10 locations. I can beat my chest and say I handled 10 locations in Ibejuleki within the space of 2017 to 2022. So so that was the transformational that was the learning stage, yes, for me as a realtor. And not just that, a lot of things came up as a realtor with pertinence for 2017 was where I started. I walked through the journey of Oshoroko, ancient Ibejuleki. I walked through the journey to down to Lakwe Gulf. So whoever knows that area, of course, from that axis, I moved down to Lakapine Tropicana, down to the then refinery was still kicking up, to the refinery axis, to the free trade zone axis, then down to we play sometimes at Eleko MN Estate. Then I had to manage their major development at Lakwe Gulf and Beachwood Estate. So then I also go to Ekwakete. So all those terrain, they're part of my exercise. So a lot was learned during the pertinence time. My time in pertinence was my in-depth section or training life to learn the Creator lifestyle. Hello, I can hardly hear you. I don't know if from my side I can't hear you.
Okay, I think I was muted.
I can.
I was muted. Yeah, no.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. So if you are just joining us, I have a cough. It started this morning, and like I said, the show must go on. We must do this, despite the cough, and despite my voice trying to give out on me. We have been listening to Yemi Olodun, and he's sharing some of his experiences, how he got into real estate. And like Omalade Adeboye mentioned, Yemi started from the roots. And Yemi, I appreciate the fact that you mentioned something about pertinence. That's your previous employer, acknowledging them. I think that's something to admire. The fact that you acknowledged the people that trained you, or where you sharpened your teeth in this industry. That's something that I find admirable. So I would just also like to ask how what inspired you to transition from realtor to developer? Because being a developer is an entire ball game. It's a different game entirely. What inspired you to become a developer? You hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. So okay, what inspired me to be a developer? Um, I'll give preferences to to pertinence, because if there's one thing they taught us, they've never been a company that want to hold someone down. They always want you to be dynamic, they want you to be successful, they want you to grow. So at one point, I think after some years, when even before then, at my second year with pertinence, a lot of clients have been telling me, "A guy, it's better you start your company yourself. You have this field experience. It will really help you." So then I told them, no, it's not a time. So now at where because I gave myself a timeline that I want to be here for 5 years. So once it's close to 5, then by then I would know that I have learned all the nitty gritties of this business, because real estate is a very, very, very dicey business. You can enter into it swimming well, see the inflow, see the money, and get distracted. You need to understand the basis of the business. It's a very, very, I would say, yes, I would say it's a toxic business, because I'm into it. You will see the money, you will see the money, you'll be seeing the millions. But it's like something one of my great mentors will tell me, that if you're not careful in real estate, you are collecting a money that you're going to pay times 10, times 20 in the future if you don't do it right. So I took my
Yeah.
time to learn those things. So what brought about the developer in me was when I started taking construction jobs from people, and my hand got burnt because I didn't I didn't go through some process. Because an engineer cannot build a project. You need a QS, a quantity surveyor to do. So
Oh,
I
yes.
learned a lot of things. So so when I so my living was is a private decision, because I would just see how to just say it. So what made me feel it's time to leave was when my wife like died, because I met my wife in the same settings, and one, the marital lifestyle couldn't it was not ethical for a husband and wife to work in the same place. So that was one of the reasons we felt it's time to leave, because he was an accountant there in the company. I was an engineer there. So we felt fine that the ethical lifestyle would not really make sense. Seeing someone talk to my wife in the office anyhow, and so we had to start making those decisions. That was one. Then two, I felt at that point I gave myself a 5 years limit, and I worked
Yes.
towards it, and I felt yes, I've gotten all the technical know-how I need to establish myself in the industry. So those two things added
Yeah.
together, yes, it gave me vision 2022 that it's time to leave and start the race myself.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Yemi. Again, I apologize for my voice. I know you're struggling to hear me. I'm struggling to hear myself too. So, Yemi, I want us to go into the trend right now in Lagos real estate market. What's your observation about the trend now in the real estate market in Lagos? Is it time
Okay.
to flee? Is it time to come in? Or is it time to just sit and observe?
Hmm. Is it time to sit? Is it time to come? Is it time to sit and observe? Hmm. Okay, I will start from this. I saw a video on IG this morning when I saw a demolition process going on in Delta State. I smiled and I laughed. I laughed. Last month, I think I saw one too. I saw one happen in Oyo State. I smiled. I laughed. Some months back, I
Every
saw the
day.
demolition also in Enugu. I smiled. I laughed. So, what are these telling us? This is trying to tell us that demolitions will happen in other states, mostly the southern part down to the western part. So maybe the southeast, south. So because those areas,
What happened in
huh?
Kaduna? In
Eh,
Kaduna too. Kaduna
in Kaduna
El
too,
Rufai
yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah, Kaduna, Kano, yes. So what are these messages trying to pass away? Before I now go deep into it, demolitions will happen in a lot of states in Nigeria. The rate of
Okay.
commercialization is settling into the industry. How do I mean? The places where people can reside, where people can enjoy rental income, where people can develop, where people can enjoy lifestyle, where people can enjoy the real estate vibe is reducing. The land space is reducing. That's one. So those that didn't do the needful back then will end up suffering for it. So now let's go come to Lagos State. Lagos State being one of the smallest areas in Nigeria with the smallest land mass, if not the smallest area in Nigeria with the smallest land mass. That's one, and everybody wants to have a slice of Lagos State, because Lagos State is one
Yes,
of the
yeah.
states whereby you can enjoy rental income, you can enjoy real estate investment, you can enjoy the ROI as everybody wants to enjoy it. You can invest in Lagos State and be rest assured that yes, in 10 years, because normally the rental income returns should, if you have invested right in a ready market, within 10 to 12 years, you should be able to reap all your investment. And yes, the more the capital you put into it, within 10 to 12 years, you should be able, if it's a ready market, you should be able to cap all your money that you have spent both for the land and the building, and start enjoying your rental income. And where you can get that value for your capital is Lagos State, or probably say Abuja and maybe some other places, maybe Port Harcourt also. but Lagos State will still be number one. So now the demolitions happening, I would align them to some certain criteria. I listened to the commissioner for um to the last part commissioner as the Lagos State building planning commissioner role. That and the now water corporation chairman. Those two geniuses, they know their onions. They were ready for what is to come. Now let me now break it down.
Okay.
There is land use, and any
Yeah.
land use that is not aligned towards the right of way for a lot of things might need to go. Now, demolitions are coming in Lagos State in one of the most important factors, because you see what happened in Dubai some I think last month, where they had the highest humidity, the
But
highest rainfall within 48 hours, that a rainfall that should happen in a year and a half happened in just 48 hours. That is one. I think I saw one too in India. Then I think in US. So I think it happened also, I think Tanzania, or I don't know, or Zimbabwe. So what even as at today, I think there was a rainfall in Ilorin, and people were like, it's end time already here. So all this is the climatologists, they've studied it. Mostly Lagos being a very, very small and densely populated area, a lot of water channel has been blocked. A lot of water right way has been blocked. So if you look at what happened in Mende, the Ikota, and a lot will still happen. A lot of demolition at Isolo,
yeah.
Bagada, those those water right way has been
Mhm.
blocked. So they need to be open. Imagine the flood that happened. We don't pray. That happened in Dubai should happen in Lagos State.
It will be disastrous.
Hey, those in the Lagos Island, the Alimosho, they will feel it as in a lot of life will go, because you can't compare the infrastructural advancement in Dubai or UAE to Lagos State. You can see
Altogether,
within
yes,
that
that's
two
true.
days, within that 1 week after that rainfall, you can see how everything changed. You think nothing happened there. So there were plans already, and we don't have those plans here in Lagos. So they've used that case study of Dubai to start correcting a lot of things in Lagos. And if you look at it, let's use Mendy for example.
Yeah.
Nobody's happy for what happened. But let's pick Mendy for for example. I saw a video 2022 where they have been given a conservation notice to vacate those places. 2022. And to them, I don't know what happened. To now, nothing happened. So even when I dig down and I looked at it, the drainage
Yeah.
line was supposed to be 200 meters. Then they had to reduce it to 50 meters to accommodate or to reduce or to mitigate the demolitions or the loss of properties that will happen. Sorry, DG. So those are the things I feel. So one, if you have right of ways, government are first coming for right of ways. Right of way for water, that's a drainage. Right of way for electricity. Then the coastal road is also happening now, because there's a right of way for that coastal. I know they will say there's an alignment. I don't want to go into that. I don't. So those right of ways need to be conserved. And there's something about those right of way. Any land within those right of way, town planning would have committed those land. Those land will be
Yeah.
COMMITTED to be a committed land space. The boundaries will be committed, meaning those areas are not suitable for residential development. People would have seen it. Let's just and they feel okay, fine, it will not happen. Nothing will happen, and it is happening now. So there's something. It will be all those right of way would have been committed over the years. So once you see it as a developer, you don't near that radius. You leave it and look for somewhere else to develop. So those are one of the things that are happening to the Lagos State real estate market.
Wow. From what if I can understand you well, I think it's a case of people, doing things anyhow and not expecting consequences.
Mm,
Assuming things will be business as usual. So now that the government is now ready to do things the right way, The people that flouted government orders earlier are paying the price. Though very unfortunate, but it's just what it is. So, Yemi, let's talk about the business side or the business side of real estate investment now in Lagos. What do you see in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time? What are the potentials? Is it looking good? Do you advise? Do okay? Not something to advise, but what's your expert opinion about the market in years from now?
Okay. Like there's a common quote. They say the best time to buy was 20 years ago, and the next best time to buy is now. I would still
Yeah,
beat my chest and say Lagos State remains, which we all know, remains one of the best locations to invest in real estate. But one of the things we need to do is, I tagged something on my status today, and I took my time to understand a lot of things. Due diligence is very expensive, very expensive, very very expensive. Due diligence is what surveyors, town planners, urban and regional planners, and county surveyors, lawyers go as far as 4, 5, 6 years to understudy, to gain experience, to gain knowledge on in the university or in the tertiary institution, or as masters or as doctors. Everything they have gone to learn is all based on this due diligence. So this due diligence really, really, really needs to be conserved. It really needs to be looked into. And as a layman that I am, I would say I'm a layman in this industry because I'm not a surveyor, I'm not a town planner. But
yeah,
I
not a
have
layman.
experiences in all these
Disagree.
fields.
You are not a
So
layman.
so I would say Lagos State is looking very, and the reason why the government are coming to Lagos State, I'll start from Alimosho. Alimosho, they need land in Alimosho now, but there's nothing for them. So they are coming for all those committed lands, all those lands that are on their right of way. They are coming for them. They need land mass. I think there's supposed to be a standard stadium in Alimosho now that they're working on. And I think there's a project also coming in Alimosho. I can't really remember now. That are the things that will serve as IGR for government, and it also make the environment very, very, very habitable and attract foreign investors. Now let's come to my base on the island. Now a lot of demolition needs have served to the Lagos Island axis, blocking right of way and the light. Now, why Lagos State? There is no landmass again in Lekki. There is none again in even as I speak to you now. There's nothing in Ajah again. There's nothing in Ibejuleki again. Where everybody is coming to is in Sepe. Now, why Lagos State? A location will be having the biggest airport in Lagos. Yeah, that location is going to be is there's a proposed on the Lagos State Kardashian map already. It has been assigned there opposite Alao City, owned by Lagos State government. There's going to be an international airport. It's a done deal. They will start that project this year. And you know, airport is one of the that project is one of the projects that the governor wants it to happen in his time before he leaves the office. So that airport is going to be delivered within before his tenure goes. So it's going to happen. It's a done deal. The land is there. They are ready to start developing that project. So that's one. Why Lagos? And that airport has a proximity to connect to Ikeja on the mainland. So you are coming from the mainland, you can pass through Ikeja, link to Lagos Ibadan Expressway, the interchange bridge, and you can link straight to Ekpe. And that airport is in Ekpe. Don't let everybody deceive you with Lekki. It is in Lekpe. That is one. Why Lagos? Number two, Lagos State houses Dangote refinery. You can say it's a fluke, but Dangote refinery is happening already. Started producing diesel, and like I had, they're going to be the major distribution of diesel and also aviation fuel. And what I'm hearing
Absolutely.
now, and what I think is in the news, by July they should start um, uh, uh, um, distributing PMS. So Dangote refinery is a done deal. Why Lagos? That's number two. So the advice is you don't want to build close to a refinery. So Ekpa is always a good place. You can come down to Lekki axis. So those are good investment opportunities. Why Lagos? Number three, Lagos State already has a free trade zone assigned to the state. It is called Lekki Free Trade Zone. Why Lagos? Lagos State apart from their gypsy port there's a gypsy port already close to the refinery. So why Lagos? There's a Lekki gypsy port already functional in Lagos State. That's 4 things. Why Lagos? I'm heading somewhere. There is a Dangote Urea fertilizer already after the Dangote refinery. Dangote Urea fertilizer, and they are producing in mass. And the good part is they also have a deep sea, a port within them that they just transport their finished goods easily to where they are taking it to. Why Lagos? The shocking part is Lagos State. I don't know if it's a private owned, but what I'm hearing is meat oil. There's going to be another refinery in Lagos State again outside the Dangote refinery. That one is situated in K2 Ekpe already.
Oh,
So the
great.
land has been allocated to them. It's on the news. Everything I'm saying are there. You can check meat oil situated there in. So why Lagos? So if you invest right in Lagos, I can tell you less than 5 years from now, because less than 5 years from now, that refinery will be bubbling, producing,
Mhm.
doing everything it needs to do. So you can't cheat hospitality, you can't cheat shelter. People will definitely come and do business, and everything happens on land. So why Lagos? If you invest right in the likes of Ekpe now, if you invest right, you would always enjoy the return. So why
Yes,
Lagos?
please.
I've not even mentioned there's a film city already situated in Ekpe. There's a food logistic hub already.
Yeah.
And the way I'm hearing it, that film city now is going to go beyond the film city. It's going to be a tourist center for people.
Good.
So why
Wow.
Lagos? You can now say why Ekpe or why Bejulekise.
Mm.
So the eyes of the you'll be hearing a lot of things, but you will keep hearing. If you invest right, you'll be part of people that will be cashing out on their returns on investment in less than 5 years from now.
5 years from now. Wow, wow, wow. You've downloaded a lot of enticing things, so to say, about why one should invest in Lagos. But despite all this, I know many people are still scared in investing in Lagos.
Mm.
I want to ask, what's your company, Hybrid Land Tech? What is your process of due diligence like? Maybe your lawyer can explain this, but I know you too can.
Okay.
What does your process of due diligence looks like? What has been your experience on the operation front, so to say? Let's have you.
Okay. Okay. Before I answer that question, before I left for this, before I came for this program or for this webinar, there was an argument in my company's WhatsApp group that oh, fine, that we're talking about somebody dropped something that majority of the lands in Ekwe is agric. He said even 80% of the lands in Ekwe is agric. I said no, you are mistaken.
That's
It's
another thing about
total lie.
Ekwe. Yeah.
Now, it's a total lie. Why will I say
Okay.
that? Because people have been living there and there are residential settlements there. Ekwe
Definitely.
it has a very, very small landmass. And the only places that are assigned to agric in Ekwe are just maybe like 5 places. So do you mean those 5 places are the only places in Ekwe? No, now. No. We have banks, we have schools, we have so it's not like that. If we look of things with all these amenities I've just told you, these social economical advantages, take or leave, government want to get IGR. Take or leave, those
People have to,
farmlands will definitely be converted to, to this settlement. Because where are these people going to live? Even as we know that even till now, there's this shortage of, there's still this high housing deficit in Lagos.
yeah.
Even the lands we have in Lagos cannot give houses to everybody.
Mm.
Somebody is even saying that even by now, all the developers should be building high-rise buildings, at least 3 or 4 floors, so that they can be an in-depth calculation for this housing deficit. So if you are
Yeah.
saying all these that I've mentioned before are happening in Ekpe, and you are saying all the lands are farm, so these are the things I tell my clients. If all these things are happening, where are people going to live? Where do they want to live? And you won't see all the lands in Ekpe are farmland. Where do they want to live? Where? all these things are coming out, refinery. So now let me go to due diligence. Due diligence in the sense that from my 2017 to now, I've been working with surveyors, and I know even I am not bragging. If I get to a land now in Ibejuleki, I might even once I pick my phone and I pick the Google location, I might just tell you this land is this, is that. But fine, I will still need to talk to a surveyor. So let's go to due diligence. Due diligence starts from your registered surveyor. Now, how do I mean registered surveyor? One of my friend, my colleague, wanted to buy a land from a family member. He was to buy from my company because he felt fine. I have done development and the price he might not be able to afford it. But he got a cheaper one. I only told him, please, let a surveyor go and check that land. He got a survey plan from the family. Just this is a very, very critical lesson. He got a survey plan from the family. The guy checked the survey plan. The land was free. I know the place. I said, alright, let surveyor go and check that land for you. On getting there, the surveyor picked, he said, I asked him, let them show you where they want to sell to you. And he picked the coordinates. Honestly, he went there and he chatted with that coordinate. The land was a committed land. I told him, you have transposed the survey plan you have with you on the coordinate you picked. When he transposed it, they call something flying coordinates. The family members, the survey plan they have to sell, they have the land is around 20 acres of land. That survey plan only covers 1.5 acres of land. And that was the only free portion in that area. So when he now transposed the coordinate he has to what they've given him, it's like for example, let me look for a common example. It's like saying, yeah, your land
90%.
that is free is in Lekki phase 1. What you want to sell is in Lekki phase 2.
It's survey of Lekki phase 1. Just that.
So and now when now told him, oh sir, thank you. I said, if you have bought, you will now if a land is committed, that's where the problem is. Government will come for it. So due diligence goes beyond, let me see your documents. Let the surveyor go there and pick the coordinates for you. A neutral surveyor. Let him go there and pick the coordinates. If it will not cost him, it's better to spend 100,000 naira and he wanted to buy the property for up to 6 million naira. And how much did he spend for the surveyor? Just 150,000 naira. And that saved him that amount of money. So they fly coordinates. So that I said you must use a registered surveyor. A surveyor that has a name tied to his title. Because all these surveyors, if you want to check them out, just go to their OSSG portal. Once you put their name, they will tell you if the person is an NMIS registered surveyor. So you can quickly just check them. I like the way they do their thing there. You can check them out if they are legit or not. So it goes beyond that. So all these demolition things that are happening, those are the things those families, they will fly the coordinate to those developers. Those developers, because they are buying those land at cheaper rates, they will not do the thorough. I'm also a developer, so I'm just trying to open some angles. They will not do that thorough search. They will just use and start developing. Then when something happens, the right of way or whatever comes in that committed space, they will say they have their building plan, they have everything. But when they will now do thorough search, you'll not say that the portion they bought from this family falls in the committed space. So that's another angle towards due diligence. So once your surveyor has gone to check, because everything starts from the surveyor, because it will show a lot of things. Okay, the land is residential, free from government acquisition. Even if you show the land is agreed and it's not committed, you can always regularize it. If it's showing forestry and it's not committed, you can always regularize it. So that's how this thing works. If it's industrial, are you using the land for industrial purpose? No, get off it. Industrial means you want to do a company, you want to do a warehouse, you want to do. So if you are buying a land for residential, you want to build to rent, and what is showing there is industrial. Are you doing industrial? Is it for industrial purpose? No, just leave it. But for the agri part, if you also want to buy for agri purpose, you can use for your agri. Maybe you want to do processing, anything, food. You can also buy. But if you want to use it for a residential land use, and you see that and the land is not permitted, yeah, you can definitely go for conversion if you have the money. You do the survey, you meet the family, you get your tax clearances, then there will be a land information given to you showing the land use of the land. Then you can start your processing. If it's not permitted, you can definitely convert. So due diligence is very expensive, but it's just for you to understand the modus operandi around it.
Well, in my opinion, yes, due diligence is expensive, so to say, but I think it saves one from tears, so to say. If one is buying a property, millions of naira,
Yes.
diligence would probably cost you 10%. The amount you pay surveyors, probably lawyers, and other people to check the property for you is maybe 10% of what you're going to use to buy that property. So due diligence is not something anybody should take lightly. I advise people that think about it too. That number one thing is always due diligence. So thank you for showing us what hybrid tech do concerning due diligence. Um, Still on due diligence, I want to ask you because people are scared about Omonile. Omonile, Omonile. Um, they have their good sides, they have their bad sides, so to say. What's been your experience like with Omonile? Because I understand that you usually meet these families, you relate with them, and how do you get them to, how do you have that communication line with them that you never have problems with them? So tell us about your experience with Omonile.
Okay. So Omonilets, they are unique people. I need to understand them in depth. You need to understand um, how responsible they are. I have seen an educated Omonile. We have a property at Evans Cottage, close to Lagos State University of Education. The Bale is an auditor, is a chartered auditor. So very highly responsible. Highly, highly responsible. So that's another phase. I don't have issues with this one. So once I meet up to one of them, some of them, well, if I see that there may be stubborn people, I use my agents because I have agents for all of the properties we have. So you need agents. So you sometimes developers they don't want to pay agents, but they have their
Okay.
usefulness. And I have
Mm,
a lot of ajagungbale within me. So you need
mm.
their backup in case of when it wants to go wrong. So you need to have. So my experience working with pertinence like since 2017, 5 years, I've been connected to a lot. Even now, I know more of Ajagungbale in my life than lawyers because it starts from them. So the properties, the investment I go into, I
Sorry,
tend to
sorry,
understand.
sorry. Explain what Ajagumbale is to the viewers. You might not understand that.
Okay, um, a lot of people don't have a good testimony with Ajagungbale, and a lot of people have. So people, when I was growing in the industry, I was connected to this. So Ajagungbale are people that when family members, to my understanding, family members have disputes between themselves and they don't want to, they cannot resolve it. They call them external agents. They are also agents. Ajagungbale are agents. I just use the local name. And I don't want to call them land grabbers. I don't want to call them land grabbers. So I call them Ajagungbale. So they bring them in to settle their land disputes. And some of them, they go as far as registering their name as even to state and federal Ajagungbales. You have them. So there are people that settle disputes. I think that's the name I can call. So they settle disputes, and if the matter, I'll just define from their good side. When
Okay.
they weigh the options and they see that this family is at fault and you're at fault, and you try to settle it, and it's not being, it's not, the settlement is not coming easy, they now use force. And force in the sense that all these Ajagungbales, they are connected to, name the AIG, the IG, all of them. So they are connected to those, they are connected to the big justice. So that's how far they have gone. So you might say, if you go there to, they will still call you, go and settle with them, go and sit down and make them have meetings. So I'm connected to them. So those are them. They settle disputes either amicably or unamicably, but they are to settle land. So I am connected to a lot of them. So before I go into any transaction, once I know the volatility of that land, or most times they bring this land to me to buy. So when I look at it, if I do my own underground visibility studies and due diligence, if I see that it is something I might not be able to, because I like a property where I can work without. Honestly, I've not been using any security man since when I started this business till now.
Okay.
I won't be using Mopo. People will say, "Let me go and buy Mopo." So that is the kind of business I go into. You see,
Okay.
developers see them with 3 or 4 escorts, but that is the business I go into. I go into that the land I can walk in there. So that is the motion, the notion I should transfer to my customers, that they can go to their properties anytime without fear of
Don't fear
he
being
did this.
harassed.
So that's the type of business I want to go into. That whereby I can walk, I can drive to sites, play with people, greet them, and I can leave. So that's business I walk up to, and will try as much as possible to maintain this relationship. So either Ajagunbale is an agent, or you have an agent, I have an agent for mediator of the lands I go to or I go into. Like I said, Evans Cottage, when I met that man at the first, I said that I don't need any agent. I just paid up the agent that I want a cordial relationship with this person. Until date, daddy, where I can go to his office in the university at Lagos State University of Education anytime. The same thing, estate at Igodo also. I can also walk up to a person that sold to us. So, but there are some investment that we have that it doesn't work that way. I have to call my agent to, because I see that this family, they are not understanding. So I don't want to put myself to anything volatile that can probably harm me or put me. So that less people have bad experience about them, but it now depends on the area you came into the transaction from, either as a third party or as the defendant part or as the accuser's part. So it depends on how you come and how you can moderate yourself around them.
Thank you so much, Yemi. It's almost 1 hour, and you've been giving us value back to back. So thank you so much so far. If you have any questions for Yemi Olodun, the CEO of Ibiland Tech, or you want to ask anything about the real estate in Lagos, the things we have talked so far, you can ask your questions in the comment section so that Yemi can answer your questions before he takes his leave. We have less than, in fact, we've passed 1 hour, but I'm sorry, Yemi, I might just hold you for like 10 minutes more so that we can get to some things. While we wait for the questions, I want to ask you about estates and Avon's Cottage, and also Greenview, because based on my understanding about these estates, you started Ibiland Tech from one property, and that has become six, if I'm correct. Is it six now?
Yes, yes,
Six
six.
estates.
Yes.
That's very significant growth in 2 years. What's your source? Should I say, what's your secret sauce? How were you able to sell out these estates within a short period and being able to, you know, buy even more and also generating income for your clients? How have you been doing this?
Okay. Thank you, DG. Um, Someone will tell me that I started the business 2 years ago and I've been able to get X properties in this year. Now, why am I still using one same car since then? I just laughed and like, like what Pastor Lumide Emmanuel would say is I listen to his teachings very well. He's a very, 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 very well experienced financial intelligence man. You
Okay.
can only use assets to create assets. You can't use assets to or pitch into luxury.
You
Let
can't
the
use
returns of
it.
those let the returns of those assets acquire those luxury for you. So now, how did we
Mm,
go? I have field experience in real estate. So when we started with Greensville, I think we got some investors that were interested in the vision, and they put in resources for us. So Greensville came as a blessing to us. Greensville, we started with 10 acres of land. I was able to raise money. I was able to raise money for two. Okay, we always give agreements to these families, and you don't default on repayment plan. So I was able to raise money for 3 acres for them. So I'm raising money for 3 acres, entered the two sites. I like development. I like development. I did total clearing of the entire 10 acres, got funds to do that. So I could see the land I was going into to know if it's wet, it's dry, to know the topography. So with that, I got my marketers were very, very pro. God bless them. Rate. So that property sold out in less than 4 months. We sold 8 acres of land in less than 4 months. We had to even stop, and we're even at the point of even returning money back to customers. So when that inflow came in, paying commission, paying the families, I would have just used that money to probably travel out, get luxurious cars, do this, enjoy my life. But no, that was not it. Like I said, somebody was saying, why am I still using my Camry, my Camry 2010 since so immediately
Yes.
I we got to connect with this same I mentioned Evans Cottage. I wanted a property that was fine. Greensby Poka is one of the ancient places in Ekpe. You can't mention
Okay.
Ekpe without mentioning Poka. Yeah, just behind Atlantic Hall. So I needed somewhere that I can buy that it's more livable, where people can buy and probably if they want to start building to live in Ekpe. So we went to North Florida, we got Davis Cottage. The returns on there, we pushed it to acquire like I think some 2 3 acres. It was way expensive. All our everything we put it. I discussed with my investors. I can pay you back your money, but let's flip this money to another product. And yes, they said, hey, go ahead. They saw the money, we flipped it into Avis Cottage. Avis Cottage was more valuable than because the return on investment in Avis Cottage is if I sell a plot in Avis Cottage, it covers like money for 6 acres and money for 1 acre in Poka. So we went into that, we started pushing. The sales was slow because it was expensive. But people that saw
Okay.
value saw that wow, this location is very, very good for a buy and develop environment. And that made that property really, really skyrocket well in development. We started our gatehouse fencing. So from there, we could get return on investment easily with the sales motive and my orators, we give them good commission. So that's how we keep growing the algorithm like that. We started growing, then we got something also close from the Oniri family at in Jakot there. We bought that, we paid that to them outright, the fully fenced property. It's a very small one, it's a 3 acres of land, fully fenced residential land in Ekwe. So that property is one of the property that we never sold anything, but we left it as an inventory for us. And I can tell you that land has appreciated well. That people are begging to buy now. We are not ready to sell. Yeah, because we bought it from a very, very notable link. We kept it, and so we still had little to sell in Poker. We opened up Poker, we sold Poker, Avis Cottage. Then from there, we could transcend into, and we got investors also pitching in funds. Investors came, gave us one or two, then we could buy experts, and we thank God. Then we went to the industrial zone in Ogun State, just after the toll gates because we needed to buy something for the future. People that want to do industrialization, that want to own properties that they can do their future manufacturing, they want to do their companies, warehouse, because the airport will start and people will need somewhere to buy. People that cannot afford Ibejuleki, the refinery, that they need something somewhere that they can buy for their industry. We bought something close to the toll gate there, but it's an industrial scheme, so it's basically for industrial purpose. So we checkmate that with our investment. So and with God, hard work. You can see me that I'm looking tired. So it has been a 2 years back to back to back to back to back to back to back
Work.
work. Back to back
And
work. We have to pay investors, we have to pay commissions, we have to pay money less, we have to develop our property, and we have to do our documents. Even buying good land, we still have to further our documentation, put a title on the land. That is putting a name on your investment. So it's a process. and we kept on working hard towards it.
I think one of the reasons why I invited you to be on this webinar is the fact that I've been around you a few times, and I've seen how much effort you put into these things, into making sure you play by the books, even at the chance of you making excessive profits. So I think that's something inspiring that many developers are not doing, but they should imbibe. If we have developers who play by the books, we won't have the issue of demolitions here or people losing their hard-earned money. And of course, I don't think some people say the real estate market in Lagos that the trust is at an all-time low. From what you've said so far, I think the anyone who wants to invest right now should come in right now. It looks like the best time to invest in real estate because many people are scared now, and I'm sure some people will even try to sell off their properties. So it's a good time for someone who is ready to do due diligence, like you mentioned, someone who is ready to pay the right to invest in Lagos real estate. Thank you so much, Yemi, for so far. Before I release you, sorry, I know I've taken extra of your time. What's your
No, fine.
advice? That's the last question now. What's your advice for a first-time investor in the real estate market in Lagos? What will you tell this person has never bought land in Lagos before? What will you, in your honest opinion, tell that kind of person?
Okay. I'll break it into phases. If you are buying a building, either be a duplex or whatever, the first thing, don't be scared to invest in Lagos. It's like I will keep still saying due diligence is expensive because people don't want to do it. That's why I'm saying it's expensive. It's very cheap. Now you want to buy a house. It's very simple. If you surveyors are around, get a surveyor to just pick the coordinate of that land and check. Simple. Once they check, they will advise you. This land is because what if that property, if that person said he has a C of O on it, once they pick the coordinates, it will show that there's a C of O on the land. If the person said he has the cons, it will show. So once yes, what the document you have, Adegbami, C of O, you check it, yeah, that's it. So it gets it tallies because yes, it tallies. So if the surveyor will also check if it's a committed land, there can be a C of O on that. That's one of the things people don't say C of O, C of O, C of O. It's not like it's not C of O, C of O. They can be the land can be committed and still have the C of O. You know, I mentioned flying coordinates. That person has flown the coordinate to get that document, but the land itself will still carry the land use on it. So let us get a surveyor, pick it. If it's free, if it's good, then you buy. Yeah, good. Because if it's committed, meaning there's something coming to that area. So that is that for housing property. The same thing applies for land. People are scared of Ekpe now. You lose your don't people what people dive into is PR. Egbon Mira, bro Mira, my friend bought. No, please. PR, this company has been in existence for due diligence. That's why I said people will not still do it because they have name, they have this, they have this. They have name. I don't want to go into that because I'm also a developer. I'm saying it for my property also. Get a surveyor. Once they check, okay, this land is agreed. Okay, your company, what are the plans towards it? So far it's not committed, I'll still say go and buy. Is agreed. So what is the plan? Okay, the company will show you what are the things you have done. They will show you. But me, I will not advise you to buy a property, either be in Bejuleki or Ekpe. Any property that doesn't have a registered survey plan on the company's name, I would advise the person not to buy it. That would be my advice because I'm also a developer. So I'm speaking for myself. So any property you see within Ekpe and Bejuleki and the developer doesn't have a registered survey plan in their name. Because once your surveyor goes there and pick the coordinates of the land, it will show it will show that yes, this land belongs to Akiwemi Realty. It belongs to Adebowale Realty or Adebowale Company. So it shows. So if property, if they doesn't have registered survey plan, because automatically if it has a survey plan, the Lagos state government or maybe Ibadan or anyway, they will know that yes, this space belong to a particular registered company. So whatever they want to do, they will see your intention, because if the meaning that that property also has a name within the boundaries of that state. That person has showed into, because the person has paid to the government account for that. So they will remember that they have generated IGR from that particular. So they will always, okay, let's leave this land. So if it is now agri, you now ask the person, for example, what are the plans you have towards it? This is what the land use is showing. Then definitely with a company that paid for that registered survey plan, the company will have the mindset to do one or two things. No, we're not doing this, so but whatever you want to do to it, we will support you. So that's an angle to it. So for properties within Ekpe, which Ebejulek, which are the new fast selling properties where bare land and within urban or suburb, like our diaspora people will say, let that company present their registered survey plan. Start from there. Start from there. Then for the housing, I've told you what to do. So I think I've tried. Thank you, DG.
More than tried. It's been an eventful session. Thank you also for managing my voice. I can imagine you straining to hear me, so thank you so much. And you are,
It's
thank you
fine.
for staying with us, everybody. It's been a good time listening to Yemi Olodun. The replay are available here on YouTube, and you can watch the replay later. And if you have more questions you would like to ask, or you intend to invest in Lagos real estate, you can reach out to me or reach out to Yemi Olodun. I can connect you to him and he will guide you properly. Yemi has been playing in the industry for over 7 years, almost 10 years now. So he knows his way
Hmm.
around. So if you are trying to invest in Lagos State, Yemi is the right person. I can say that confidently. Is the right person for you to meet. So thank you so much, Yemi. Thank you for joining us. I can release you now to go and have your rest. I know you've had a long day. So thank you so much for coming. And so this will be the end of today's webinar. We are going to be doing this on a weekly basis, bringing market experts, industry experts to talk to us about real estate investments, about you securing a future for yourself through real estate, knowing what to do, how to do this safely, devoid of any risk. So thank you everyone. I'm signing out. Thank you for managing my voice. I'm sure by next time the cough would have
Thank
gone.
you.
And yes, you will hear me. Thank you so much. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye.